Welcome to another episode of How the Game Was Won. Today we're looking at game number 6 of the FIDE World Cup final for 2015 being played in Baku, Azerbaijan. The match is between the Svidler and Karjakin, and in this game, game number 6, the second of the two rapid games with a 25-minute each time control. Svidler has the white pieces, Karjakin has the black pieces. Karjakin is at the moment 3-2 ahead in the match, so this is a must-win game for Svidler. Without further ado, let's skip ahead to the position after Svidler has played his move number 40, which is rook taking on b7. And if you look at this endgame is way beyond uncomfortable for black. Here's, for instance, black's d4 pawn is a huge liability simply because of as a result of the g3 to e5 pawn chain that white has developed over there has resulted in that d4 pawn being completely isolated. So it's just a matter of time before that gets picked up. And the white is obviously controlling much more space, and that knight on e4 is incredibly well placed. It's able to get into just about anywhere. And I'm pretty sure that if black had to do any type of pawn push with his f-pawn, then the knight would be able to come swooping into that the f6 square and cause all sorts of mayhem for black. So it's certainly, you can see clearly that Svidler has the position completely under control. Game continuing with rook a3, rook b8, rook takes on d3, king f2. Now, followed by g6. Now, as a quick sidebar here, white could have played, for instance, knight f6 check, followed by king g7, followed by h takes on g6, which is a way stronger option than what was played in the game. Because if you look at that, if you look at the f6, or if you look at that pawn that's sitting on g6, it may look like it's sitting completely on free, but black can't touch it, because should black take obviously with the king, that will just allow rook takes f8 and black is down a piece. If he had to be, for instance, taking with the f-pawn, which at first glance may seem logical, that allows this awesome little combination of rook d7 check, king h8, and rook h7 mate. So, brilliant little sidebar combination there. But getting back to the game at hand, white played knight c5, which allowed rook d2, king e1, rook b2, rook takes on b2, bishop takes on c5, h takes on g6, f takes on g6, and king e2. And already you can see that black is sitting with a completely lost endgame. His pawn structure is just way too weak. He's still sitting with that horribly isolated d pawn. It's now joined by a horribly isolated e pawn as well. And white has still got this brilliant pawn chain that can be easily converted into a pass pawn. And what's more, white is also up the exchange. So the combination of those two makes it a completely one endgame for white, and Svidler needing the full point desperately to stay in the match does so with absolute precision. And we'll take you through it now quickly. D3 check, king takes D3, H5, king C4, bishop E3, rook B3, bishop F2, rook F3, bishop G1, king B5, king F7, king C6, king E7, rook B3, bishop H2, rook B7 with check, king F8, king D6, bishop takes on G3, king takes on E6, bishop takes on F4, and you've got rook F7 check. And as you can see, after rook takes rook F7 check, it is basic tactics. The king and bishop have been forked, so which means that the bishop will be falling on the very next move, and with the extra bishop, or with the full extra rook on the board, it will be absolutely no effort whatsoever to mop up the extra pawns, march the e-pawn through, queen that, and win the game. So with that position, Karjakin resigned to bring the match back up to 3-all after 6 games, taking us into the 10 minutes aside rapid games for the next 2 games of the match. And that, my friends, is how the game was won. Please feel free to share this video out amongst your chess friends. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you like the content, thumbs down if not, and also please post any comments, questions and criticisms that you may have down below. That will also help me to improve these videos in the days and weeks and months going ahead. And last but by no means least, if you're watching in the YouTube window, please, down below the screen is a big red subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, that way you stay subscribed to my channel for all the new content that comes out on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. And until I see you next time for another episode of How the Game Was Won, stay carved up for the win and stay safe out there. Cheers.